United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We cannot approve the June 3rd minutes because Dr. Pat isn't here and Glenn wasn't here for that meeting, so we'll have to table those until the next meeting. I can read the June 16th minutes. The Watts Township Board of Supervisors special meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. on June 16, 2015 at the Municipal Building by Chairman Carl Radinsky. Public comment. Brian Reifsnyder asked why the priority of Circle Road over Motto Road. Chairman Radinsky stated he would explain later. A motion was made to accept J. Falkroad & Sons bid of $27,510 for patching Circle Road and $24,435 for Lowtown Road and the Notch cul-de-sac, and rejecting their bid of $112,801 for paving Circle Road. Smith, Gall, Radinsky, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to appoint Fortenbalk Accounting and Consulting Services Incorporated to perform the audit for the years 2013 and 2014 at $1,500 for each year. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to adopt Resolution 15-05 confirming the appointment. Gutau, Smith, Gall, motion carried unanimously. Secretary Conjoli will notify Jennifer Schmidt at DCED of the appointment. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye. Okay. Now I guess we're going to go with...
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Good evening. I'm Lucas Parks with the Eads Group Civil Engineers. We've been doing some background work on the 537 plan for a little over a year now since we first started down the path. We had applied for the grant last summer and heard back at the end of last year that we were unsuccessful in getting the grant. Since then, we've been in conversation with DEP to try and schedule a kickoff meeting and sort of jumpstart things and get things going on the 537 plan. In that time, I brought this gentleman. His name is Kyle Fritz. He's working with me out of our Lewistown office, and he's going to be helping me with the 537 plan. He's been talking with DEP pretty regularly here over the last few months, so I'm going to turn it over to him, and he can sort of bring you up to date on where we are and what we need to do to move forward and get things started.
So I talked to Barry over the past couple months. I've been speaking with him. He wanted to set up a meeting before we submitted anything to them. So he sent me an email. They're available July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. They want to meet with us and the board just to go over everything. They're available at 10 a.m. is when they want their meeting, and it's at 909 Elmerton Avenue down in Harrisburg. So if any of those, if you guys can pick one of those 3 days over the next week or so, I'll get back to them and let them know when we can go down there and meet. The big thing is we have a scope of work of what we're proposing to do. We need to get their blessing before we can really start running with it. The past couple months, you guys signed the GIS agreement, which is going to help us with the mapping to complete the plan. So the ball's rolling. We just got to get DEP to finalize everything before we get started. So.
You got those dates?
Yeah, I have those dates.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the week, so if we can just coordinate one day, we can stop in and head down. Their offices, I'm not sure if you guys aren't familiar, if you get down to the red light at the Farm Show building and make a left, it's just up the road. So.
It's on the right.
Yes, right at the post office is on the left,
Yeah.
and it's on the right at that first red light.
Will Wednesday work for us since Nancy's already in the office?
Yeah.
We have that other.
We got to talk about that, but
Yeah.
as long as Pat's available and I think she'll be back by then.
She'll be back by then.
Okay. So you're looking at the 22nd,
Okay.
but let me confirm with Dr. Pat first, and
Yeah,
I'll
we
send
can
you
do
an
that.
email.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Okay.
minutes, yep. Outside of that, we don't have too much, moving forward until DEP goes over everything and blesses the plan, so. If you guys don't have any questions, that's sort of where we're at.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll pick a date and we'll get back to you then. Get everything moving.
Very good. Very good, yep, thank you guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Any other public comments about the Act 537?
What is it?
Act
I don't know nothing about. What is it?
It's the Act 537 storage system.
Oh, okay.
Next thing is, what the solicitor still reviewing the supervisor's pay issue.
The meeting pay.
Yeah. And the zoning officer, we have 3 permits.
3 permits, Rob Peters for to rebuild a barn on his 29 Circle Road property. Fine Line Homes for Lot 3 in Susquehanna Highlands. Today Property Management, that's TIDAY, for lots 4 and 7 of River Mist, and 2 driveway permits on Circle Road, Sherry Duncan at 41 and Dennis King at 45.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, engineer, he's still working with the...
public comment?
What?
Oh.
Yeah,
We asked for public comment.
Yeah, I
We
did.
asked for public comment on Lucas Parks.
Yeah, but still...
We said, is there any other public comment?
On Lucas Parks is what I heard.
Jerry, you have a...
I had a couple of public comments if we can go back.
Go ahead and speak
Sure,
up,
Frank.
Last month's bills listed, you guys, I realized that you didn't pay it, but it listed you guys as meeting pays, and it had Pat down for 5 meetings, and we didn't have 5 meetings in the first quarter, or second quarter, did we?
I don't have that with me.
Did we have 5 meetings in the third quarter, or the second quarter?
He asked to put it in the driveway when we did it.
Yeah, we had some extra...
Or the bid signing, there would have been 5 then.
But that was in June, wasn't it? The
Yes.
bids were awarded in
You're talking from
June.
the first
Yes.
of the year.
So the pay for up to June 3rd meeting
Correct.
would only be 4 meetings total.
There was, I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
There was an extra meeting in there.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was one
remember.
special meeting to adopt the amendment to
The driveway ordinance,
Right. But
right.
that's only 4 meetings total.
There was the Lucas Parks, Luke Step hearing in April. That was a special meeting.
But that was that a public hearing or was that?
It was a public
public
hearing,
meeting right
but it
there.
was a meeting.
Okay. I was just checking the number of meetings that each
Yeah.
one attended.
Yeah.
So if we can double check that, I'd appreciate it. I did send an email to the township last month. I don't know if anybody saw it. Okay.
Yes, they did. I informed them, I gave them copies.
And
I
was it-
did my part in that.
Was it brought up at last month's public meeting?
It was brought up before the meeting. We already went through that, and we got prices on that, and Linus, we don't have to bring that up.
Well, I'd like to bring it up tonight. What prices, you say you got some prices for
Yeah, we
reclamation?
got 2 variable prices. It's like 150 to 175 to mill it, plus the top.
We're not talking about that, we're talking about the reclamation of the
The
base.
reclamation, that's right.
That's different than milling.
Well, the reclamation of that section from the top of the hill down to 1150.
And you got a price on?
We did the reclamation of the base.
Yeah, we got 2 prices. I got one, Jerry gave us a work on it, and so did Rick. And they both about in the same ballpark.
But
So we fixed it up those spots like Rick asked us to do, and we got in pretty good shape right now.
are you saying we did reclamation there?
We did reclamation of taking the soft spots out and replacing it with blacktop. That's what the Snyder paving is on this.
All right, but I'm talking about total reclamation like.
Total reclamation as in far as taking a milling machine and milling off the whole road?
Yes, which is what we did on Upper Spinning.
That's not even in the budget. That puts the budget way over.
It cost about $10,000 a mile 5 years ago.
You're talking right now, there's a two prices, Frank. It's like $150 to $125 to
Not for
recommend.
reclamation,
Just recommend, now you gotta top it.
And then you gotta top it.
not for reclamation.
Well,
It's $10,000 to $15,000 a mile to get it reclaimed.
Now it's
Now,
not.
mind you,
you know, it's done.
it's done.
I mean,
You
When
spent,
we reported, we're going.
wait, you spent tons of money in the last 2 months.
on
Put
fixing
patch
roads,
in
yeah.
there, put patch in there.
We
But we
spent
still don't have the
$4,000.
base.
We spent $4,000 plus the one before that for,
$7,500 last month.
not 7,500.
Oh yes, add them together. There's 2 of them.
That was for fixing the base of the road. Now we're putting a bid out to have it topped with
Tar and
1B, with tar and chip.
Last month, we spent $7,500 on it. This month, we spent another $4,000.
Right.
So you're over $10,000 already, and you could have reclaimed that half mile at the bottom anyway
That's
for
not
about
true.
$10,000.
No,
Well, let me ask you this, if I bring you bids in, if I bring you prices in for total reclamation, that come in at a reasonable rate of less than $150,000, would you guys consider it? Because we do not have a base under that road, it's falling
we
apart.
put a base under that road by putting it, taking out and putting in blacktop. We didn't put it back in stone. We put it back in probably 6 inches of blacktop in each one of those
So
soft
there's no
spots.
base at all, is what you're saying.
There is a base now.
The base is your paving, but it's sitting on what? We have a standard, Jerry, do you recall the standard for building township roads? Isn't it 8 inches of BCBC under the paving?
I'd have to look it up, but I said, I don't think it's 8 inches.
6 inches? Somewhere along those
That
lines.
doesn't- It could be 4,
There's-
but I'm not sure.
There's a required base, and we don't have a base under your paving, is what it amounts to. And that's all I'm saying. When we redid Spinning Wheel, you guys can go up there and look at Spinning Wheel. And Carl, you're familiar with it. We redid that over 10 years ago.
And now
Reclaimed the whole base.
it's cracked though.
And have we done anything to it? We're getting some minor cracks. The edges
After
aren't
last
falling
year.
off, no problems at all with that road. In 10 years' time, we haven't had to do anything but seal some minor cracks. Isn't that a worthwhile effort? Isn't that a worthwhile investment?
You're talking to spending hundreds of thousands
No,
of
I'm
dollars
not.
on it.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
We spent $5,000 to do Spinning Wheel. That's what we paid for the reclamation portion, $5,000. And then we paved over it. But the digging up of what was there and the regrinding of it and putting it back down and rolling it cost us $5,000. That's what we're talking about. I think you may be confused as to milling. We're not talking about milling.
No, we're not talking about.
We're talking about digging everything up.
Well, we fix
Everything
it up
that we
right
have
now,
that's a
right
value
now.
there. And then they mill it on the machine. Then they put it back down, then they come with rollers and they do it. It's an entire process. We paid $5,000 to do Spinning Wheel. And we haven't had to do a thing to the road since. We keep throwing money at Mater down there.
We're not
patching-
throwing at it, we're fixing the road properly.
Not if we don't have a base, that's the whole thing. You're saying you're putting paving in for a base. Paving is not a base. Ask Jerry. Is paving a base, Jerry?
BCBC is a pavement base.
It's a mixed base. It's not paving. You're putting paving directly over what you dug out. And it's not, there's no base under it. It's as simple as that. I understand you're a contractor, and I'm not meaning to argue with you. But putting paving over no base is not creating a base.
You weren't there to see what there was no base there.
Well, then you needed a base. That's what I'm
There was a
saying.
base there.
We can create the base. If there was a base there, it failed. Because
It
that's-
failed before, it's not gonna fail now.
How's it not gonna fail just because you put paving?
How do you know there was no base under what we milled out? and put
Because it
in?
failed.
How has what we done failed?
No, what was done failed. There's a pothole, there's a big breakage.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that in every township road in the country, Frank.
And if we do the base correctly, like we did Spinning Wheel, Upper Spinning Wheel, the evidence is right in front of us. If we try to do we did upper spinning wheel, we try to look at it and say, it works. But if we just keep throwing what we did before, they wanted to scratch that. And we decided to spend $5,000 and it paid for itself. I think we're throwing money away by not actually spending 10, you guys, I don't know where you got 150, but I'll bring you prices for reclaiming a mile of road, which is about what's there from the top of the hill down to 1115. I'll bring you prices next month. But if you're gonna chip right over what's there, you're wasting your
We're gonna
money.
chip over what we fixed the base.
We fix that base time and time and time and time.
And you're gonna fix it time and time again. It's a road. It's just like your driveway. It's a maintenance project.
How come we don't have to fix spinning wheel?
You will have to fix spinning wheel.
10 years is a pretty long time. I challenge you to find another road in this township that we haven't had to fix in 10 years. You understand what I'm
We've been
saying?
patching on spinning wheel for the last couple of years.
That's right, you've been patching and patching.
Okay, we're.
Not on spinning wheel.
We're done.
If you look at spinning wheel. All right, do we have the year-to-date budget numbers?
Yes,
We do? Can I get a
Yes.
copy before the meeting's over
Yes.
then? Okay.
What's going
copy of the budget figures.
on? Yeah. Okay, engineer.
I assume I still have a couple of questions, if that's all right. I assume the auditors had their meeting.
Yes,
Did we advertise that?
yes,
And when we talked, when you appointed the auditor, the CPA, when we talked about that, I gave you a sheet of the second-class township code that showed you how to appoint them. And at the top of that sheet was a section on auditor's qualifications. And I believe Judy Hart, according to that, because she's the spouse of our zoning officer, clearly does not qualify to be an auditor. And I gave you that back in, I want to say March, whenever we were talking about that. I have another copy of what I gave you somewhere. I think I wrote it wrong. Yeah, here it is, section 916. This is what I gave the board back in March when we were talking about cleaning. And right at the top of it, it talks about the auditor's qualifications.
she is not financially interested. I don't make the checks out to Bob and Judy Hart.
What's the next 2 words? 3 words.
Okay, Jerry, engineering, please.
What's the next 3 words?
Bed at the firehouse on Bricksor Lane.
Okay. Okay, I'm still, Carl, you still gave me the floor.
Okay, you can, let's get them done. You only got so many minutes,
All right,
right?
you gave me the floor,
I
and
didn't
you
give you the
did
floor
not
all
answer
night.
my questions. If you're gonna give somebody the floor, at least give them the respect to answer the questions that they ask.
I can't hear you.
The second-class township code, which you were given there, it says Judy Hart is directly or indirectly has a financial interest in a transaction with this township. Therefore, she must resign. It says that right there. I didn't make that up. It comes right out of second-class township code.
What is the definition of indirectly? I mean, how do you come up with that, Frank?
Here we go again. If you're getting money from your spouse, you indirectly have a financial interest in the transaction.
How far would you take that? A brother or sister or cousin?
Well, a spouse is far enough. It's a spouse. It's a household. Your household benefits from that transaction. There can be absolutely no question in this case.
I think they're talking about business interests, not spousal interests.
It does not say that. Would you like me to read it to you?
It doesn't say
It says,
spousal either,
any
does it?
auditor who is financially interested, directly or indirectly, in any township transaction commits a summary offense. The auditor shall forfeit the office.
I don't think that definition would apply to spouses.
I think it's arguable it does.
What's your
I
next
think
question?
it's clear that it does. If you have a financial interest, your wife cannot take a contract with the township because there's a conflict. If you're a supervisor. My wife, when I was a supervisor, couldn't take a contract with the township. That's clear. And it's just as clear here. The auditor doesn't qualify. Now, can we waste our time and ask your solicitor to give you a way out of this? I'll put it that way, because that's all he ever does. It's quite clear. But according to this, I think you should give a copy of this to the auditor herself, right here, Mrs. Hart,
Yeah.
because it tells her that she should consider whether she has a financial interest, and she should forfeit the office if she does.
The word indirectly is there. So, I mean, that's certainly arguable that that's the case. I mean, that is an indirect, financial interest.
I'm just baffled as to why this was in front of you 2 months ago and ignored. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm asking that something be addressed.
Okay, we'll turn over the line, so let him.
Yeah, so we'll spend money on Linus to answer the question.
Well, you could always read this and interpret it yourself.
Well, would you rather us go to court over it? No, let's get an explanation.
Went to court, we'd spend money on Linus, and I don't think the court would hold that a spouse has a
You know
financial
what? You tell me
interest.
I'm not an attorney and you're not either.
That's right, neither of us are.
All right, I'm done.
Engineer, the,
Okay, I'm supposed to have GP 11 submitted next week. I need a couple more items of information minutes.
okay.
And Fixer Lane runoff, I said I've been checking the ENS Susquehanna Highlands, and it's all in place. So,
I mean, that water came down there before,
yeah, it's,
off those
and
fields.
and the ponds that it's hitting are in the bottom, they're the streams run through them. They're not, they don't bypass them. It's not coming in from somewhere else. It's right in the stream itself.
Actually, the pond belongs to the people of Victor Lane, right?
They bought the place.
Yeah. Well,
I'll just keep making sure that the ENS is in place for Susquehanna Highlands.
okay. FCO has no report. Fire company,
I gave you a monthly report. Other than that, we've been busy still. We're averaging about 14 calls a month, every other day. And, other than that, everything's good. Except the grass is not growing. That's it.
okay. It's down at some sourdough. You need to discuss section 302 in that here.
Yeah, well, Nancy's going to give me some information, and I'll review it.
What is section 302 of the SAUDO? I mean, nobody's had the chance to look at it yet.
That is how developers submit plans
Okay.
and how the plan is to be distributed
Mm-hmm.
and how many copies and so forth and how many
Mhm.
weeks ahead of time you need to do that. And there's
Okay.
a couple things in there that I just want to discuss,
Mhm.
throw out there, and if it's not feasible, then it's not. But
Okay.
It's just, my ideas on it.
Okay. When's the public going to be able to review this?
Oh, it's not even close to that. I mean, we
Okay.
have to have it has to go to the solicitor
Okay.
for the legalese in it.
Okay.
And it goes to the Perry County Planning Commission, goes to Watts Township Planning Commission.
All right.
The supervisors look at it also.
Okay.
Then, once everything's been addressed, then there is a public hearing on it.
Okay.
So it's a process. It's
Okay.
quite a
Sounds
few
like we could
months.
probably discuss it at the planning commission meetings as well.
Yes, absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Okay, well, you got the Portable Accounting Services, we appointed him to handle our 2013 and 2014, and he'll do a good job for us to get us out in a hurry.
And I've already started with him on that.
How are we getting him the information? Are we faxing?
He's coming to the
He's coming to
office.
the
Coming right to the office?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like the auditor set working supervisors pay for 2015 at $13.50.
Okay. Is this just for one job as working supervisors?
Back to the January 1st,
Well, what's the definition of a working supervisor?
when you're working out on the road and stuff.
On the road?
Yeah.
Well, what about if you're
Whatever
working?
you're working at in the township is work.
As any job at all?
Right.
Like, I mean, sorry Nancy, a secretary. So the salary would be $13.50 if the supervisor were to fill in, you know. I needed an example.
Right, yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now we want our new business.
Under old business, what's the status of that driveway ordinance? It was, you said 60 days, you'd have.
Well, that isn't, that's getting, it'd be pretty close to ready. Pat hasn't been around for almost a month now, so we haven't worked on the things.
Has it been sent to the solicitor for review?
Not all of it yet. What?
Are we done with the public?
He's asking a question about that.
That's a good question. We're, you
It'll
know,
be done very shortly.
next month?
It'll be done by next month, yes.
Next
Has
month?
the solicitor reviewed it?
Yes, Lister will be reviewing it. We have some questions, Glennie has some questions that we have to resolve before we can really do anything on it.
So we'll have an answer for next month, hopefully?
What, Frank?
We will have an answer for next month?
Next week or are we done?
I
Next
have
month?
some questions to go in front of the PC for.
Yeah.
What kind of questions do you have?
I'll discuss that with the planning commission.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay, new business. We have a resolution to destroy records at 15-06. And Spark Energy, a contract for our electric 3 years.
Wait,
Go ahead.
we have to adopt this resolution.
Okay.
This is to destroy the old records according to the municipal manual. I'll just read it. Resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Watts Township, Perry County, Pennsylvania, that whereas by virtue of resolution number 15-04 adopted June 3rd, 2015, the Watts Township Board of Supervisors declare its intent to follow the schedules and procedures for the disposition of records as set forth in the Municipal Records Manual approved December 6, 2008. And whereas in accordance with Act 428 of 1968, each individual act of disposition shall be approved by resolution of the governing body of the municipality. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Watts Township, Perry County, Pennsylvania, in accordance with the above-cited Municipal Records Manual, hereby authorizes the disposition of the following public records. Years 1996 through the end of 2007. General Fund. Vendor checks, check stubs, bank statements, check registers, deposit slips, and documentation. State Fund. Vendor invoices, check stubs, bank statements, check registers, deposit slips, and documentation. Payroll, check registers, timesheets, individual earning records, quarterly payroll tax reports, which are the 940, state, local, unemployment, W-2s, 1099s, and termination letter. Tax collector, general and special ledgers, including real estate, per capita, earned income tax, EMS, which is also LST now, tax collector's monthly report to governing body, tax duplicates. Year 2008, timesheets, quarterly payroll tax reports, W-2s, paid delinquent per capita tax. Year 2009 and 2010, paid delinquent per capita tax. Oath of municipal officials, 1996 through 2007.
Motion to adopt that.
I don't know how I feel about that yet, whether we should destroy those documents yet. We table that till next month?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to explain Spark Energy now?
We had a contract with Spark Energy, you know, as we all get another supplier. The contract ran out. We're paying close to 10 cents per kilowatt or whatever you call it. They are offering us a 3-year contract at 8 cents, and that is fixed. That's, you know, for the next 3 years. They can't up it. They won't lower it, but they won't up it. And I'm just asking if the board would be interested in signing this contract for that electric, for Spark Energy.
I guess we should,
Yeah, I would.
yeah, because it's lower than what we're paying now.
If we go with 1 year, it's 0.848 cents, and it gets less as you go down, but, you know, 3 years you're locked in at that rate.
Yeah,
We're paying 10 now.
Yeah.
yeah.
I make the motion, we do that.
I'm not second, all in favor, aye. The next thing is your extra hours
From July
until
to October 1st.
15.
I put 15 because I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have involved with the audits. I won't use it if I don't have to, but
Okay, I
I make the motion.
second it, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next thing is roadmaster, advertise for tar and chip of Circle and Water Road.
I just need to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to advertise for tar and chip of
This for a bid?
sections of that road.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
This for a bid?
Bids.
Okay.
For a bid, yes.
Okay.
Now, we had discussed having a special meeting. The last day that that ad comes out is July the 15th. I put 6. It's July the 15th. We can't have a meeting until 10 days after that date. We had said, discussed the 22nd,
Yeah.
but that's not going to
That's
work
good.
because it has to be 10 days.
Yeah, okay. We can go the following week, we'll give us 10 days.
The following week would, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, not Thursday or Friday, Monday, Tuesday.
Might as well be a Wednesday.
You want it a Wednesday?
Yeah.
So we're talking July?
Yes.
It says
Yeah, I
6 on
know.
here, but It should be 7.
I made it.
There should be 7.
Yep,
So
should be
if it's-
7.
If it's the 25th of July already, what's another week gonna be?
Well, if it's that, we are that close.
Well,
Yeah, we can
It's
wait.
only 1 week to wait.
1 week too long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll do it quick. Probably Wilson paving might be the best one. Okay, then the planning commission had no meeting in June. And we have one plan submitted, Snyder plan. And October the 7th is the approval or disapproval. You looked at that plan yet, Jerry?
No.
Okay.
Seems pretty simple.
Yeah. Did you have a copy of it though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Everybody got it? Wanna make a motion to pay the bills? I'll make a motion to that.
Doesn't matter.
I'm making a motion to pay the bills and the extra bills will be coming in because the days I have first.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
One question on the bill. Says here mowing,
Yeah, we had people, whatever the name,
The U company.
Q company.
but why couldn't we mow?
Because we were doing other stuff, right? And it was cheaper for us to have them mow than,
Well, we discussed that last fall when we did the budget. And you specifically said that, no, that was a one-time deal.
well, it's a one-time deal for this year. That's it.
So you're saying again, it's a one-time deal for this year?
Yeah, we're gonna get on to the second time around. So we just- Okay.
I think Pat's motion, when she appointed the 3 of you, reappointed the 3 of you roadmasters, said that any major expenditure would be brought before the Board of Supervisors prior to making the expenditure. Well, that, I think $1,100 in 1 month on something extra should have been brought to the board under Pat's motion.
It was discussed at the last meeting.
No, it wasn't. I listened to the minutes.
Well,
Well,
It
maybe
wasn't
we-
discussed before the mowing was done.
We
We
discussed
motion to
it.
pass the bills.
okay, make a motion adjourn.
I'll make the motion, adjourn.
So in other words, if somebody raises a question, you just ignore it. Is
We're
that
not
what you're
ignoring
saying?
nothing, Frank.
I asked the question. I asked why it wasn't brought before the board.
You adjourned the meeting.
You've already adjourned. I'm ready. You make it clear. You make it clear that if you ask a question, you just ignore it. Please reread the motion that Pat made. It said that you're supposed to make major expenditures for the public. I think $5,000 or $4,000 in paving last month was a major expenditure. Or you're gonna go contract one of your buddies to pave some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been adjourned.